Welcome, Coding University, training humans to train themselves. Today, we're going to talk about affirmations, knowledge, and training. So, first of all, affirmations are good, but they're just directional. They basically, affirmations say, okay, let's give me some here. I'm a great person. I'm really brave. I can really do this. I can really do that. And they sort of generalize. They give you a direction, but they basically say, I'm going to take the machine I have, head in this direction with this goal and accomplish this goal. Okay? So it's like, you can figure out how to figure that machine out that you got and get it to work. Okay? And hey, go for it. It's going to work. It's going to help you because getting your machine, being a better driver of your machine is a good thing to have. Knowledge we've talked about is knowing what to do, but may or may not be able to do it. Remember we talked about the overweight person that is basically should have a PhD in how to be thin, but is not thin. Okay, they know what to do, but their body, they haven't been trained to do it. Now, training is when you actually take that knowledge and train yourselves in the specific, in multiple situations on how to accomplish it. So now we're getting into the details. Oh, the details. Why do we have to do the details? Well, we'll talk more about that later. But let's first talk about it here on how we generally look at it. So we might say something like, I get up and I walk to the kitchen. Okay? Now notice all the spaces between getting how to get up, how to walk to the kitchen, and all of that is just assumed we know how to do. Okay? But it's in the details that makes the difference. I mean, if you look at a field goal kicker, right? Yeah, I can, the ball snapped. Okay, ball snapped. The kicker takes a step forward and kicks. Well, if that was me, I wouldn't be making a 60-yard field goal. Yet some people can. So what's the difference? What is it that they do different than I do that allows them to make a 60-yard field goal and I can't? It's in the details. Now, if we ignore the details, we don't have to kick that 60-yard field goal. But if that's something that we want to do, we want to get into the details and figure out what those details are. Now, a lot of times those details are so mundane and we think, well, they should be automatic. But it's just like in football, the quarterback, the ball is snapped. The quarterback drops back and he throws the ball and it's a touchdown. See, all that stuff would happen in between. How come the person, the center, how did he snap the ball? How did the quarterback get it? How did he drop back? How did all those things happen? How did the blockers block? How did the runners run? All those things are just, assumed. See, now, what happens, and this is what we want to remember, is that we pick these little things that we just do all the way along our life. So, I think I referred back to when I was coaching basketball, and these little kids, they basically, if they would just run in the right direction, okay, that was a huge step. If they then passed the ball or got the ball or moved the ball down the court somehow, either dribbling a little passing or whatever, if they sort of stuck their arms out and pretended to go after the ball, that was good. If they shot it and it made it up to the basket, oh, that was really good because sometimes it went in. So the key is at different levels we work on different skills. So each level you're assumed to learn those skills. Then at the next level you're assumed to know those skills. And finally when you get at another level you're assumed to know all the skills below it. But if you watch coaching, and this is just how it works, is a coach says, okay, do this, and he shows the team how to do something, and everybody gives it a shot, and he pushes people around a bit to help them figure out better how to do it, and he says, okay, try it again, might try 5 times, hey, and then pretty soon he says, oh, that's good enough. Are we supposed to master these skills? No, usually what happens is that's good enough. It's okay for now. So now you go to the next level and you have okay for now skills. And then you go to the next level and you get their okay for now skills. And you go to the next level and you get those okay for now skills. And now you're not doing so good because all your skills are just okay. See, we got to get into the details and really fine tune some of these things. And it's like yuck. Okay, so let's just go back here. So first of all, we first got to go figure out what it is we got to do, right? And then we got to go through and see ourselves doing those things, and then we got to practice a little and get ourselves to actually do it, and then put them on automatic. That's our goal. That's the training, right? So far, it gives us to level 3. So let's say here, if you've ever seen a kid, pretend he's a professional basketball player. What is this? It's like they do this, and he fakes right, then he goes left, then he's down the baseline, and he shoots. Right. So that's sort of like you get up and you walk into the kitchen. He sort of doesn't know exactly what's in between, but he's trying to figure it out, and he's trying to figure out the details of it. Okay, but he's going through the motions and he has fun doing it. So he started, right? So he started where the first one level, just this is the heading in the right direction down the basketball court. That was one of my big goals when I was coaching little kids to play basketball. Then they did this. Okay, then they did that. So we've started. Okay, but now there's a lot more details, and some of those even original details need to be cleaned up and worked out. Okay, and some coaches actually go back to those things and talk about it. I think Bear Bryant was one of the coaches that always started his football season with, "This is a football." In other words, we're going to go back to the basics. And he's going to clean up some of these basics, because it's the basic skills, some of those basic things that people mess up on, need to clean up, need to get better. Okay, Vibe Coding University, training humans to train themselves. We want to get into the details. So get into the details, look at them, go through the 3 processes, and at some point get them on automatic. But the key thing is we want to start seeing these details. So what you want to start doing is seeing these details in yourself and your friend. What do you do? How do you walk? Look at some of those details. Now, usually our friends or people we associate with, we start seeing their characteristics, something they do that's sort of unique to them, and we go, oh, they do that a little different, don't they? So we notice that everybody may sit down or sit a certain way, but we all don't sit exactly the same way. We all sit just a little bit different. So if you look around, just people sitting, they sit differently. So what would be, depending upon your goal or your objective, what would be a better way to sit, way to walk, way to talk, way to raise your hand, way to listen, way to do this? I mean, we do so many things at so many levels, and it's starting to notice these things. It's like if you were, we're going to be building a machine. If you really got to think about it, it's like you got to start noticing the details of the machine if you're going to be building one, and we've got to start getting into those details. Now, the thing that you want to notice is that getting into these details, you don't have to do all of them all at once. You look at one at a time. But start, first of all, just being able to see these things. Now, the other thing is that if you hang around with friends, one of the things you find out is that we tend to mirror our friends and do, if our friend, raises his hand or does this or does that, we tend to do the same thing. So it's like we can't even see our friends. Oh, they don't do anything different. Well, start noticing how they do everything, and whatever they do is it's a habit. That's the way they do things. So start noticing the details, because that's where we're going to be training. And then we're going to say, can we make these details better? How can we get them to work better to accomplish a certain goal or objective? All right, Vibe Coding University, getting into the details, training humans to train themselves. All right, thank you. We'll see you next time.